Hi everyone, today we'll be talking about the autonomic nervous system, or ANS. So what is the autonomic nervous system? The autonomic nervous system is part of the peripheral nervous system. Our body's nervous systems are divided into two main systems, the central and the peripheral. The central is made up of the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is everything outside of the spinal cord. This includes all of our peripheral nerves and motor neurons, which help us move our body. The autonomic nervous system is broken into the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous systems, which we'll discuss today. The other division of the peripheral nervous system is the somatic nervous system. This includes all the sensory and motor neurons, and it controls voluntary movements. The autonomic nervous system, on the other hand, manages all of the involuntary bodily functions. Now that we've seen how the autonomic nervous system fits in with the rest of our body, let's take a look at what functions it has. The ANS is responsible for the involuntary actions of the body that you do without conscious voluntary control. The ANS innervates cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, and many different glands inside your body. This includes regulating heart rate, respiratory rate, digestion, urination, and pupillary constriction. The ANS is further divided into the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. So first, the sympathetic nervous system controls our flight or fight response. This is how the body reacts when it's in danger or in stress. The sympathetic nervous system causes the body to speed up and become more alert, like increasing heart rate, dilation of the bronchial tubes and lungs, and also dilation of the pupils in your eyes, muscle contraction, release of adrenaline from the adrenal gland, and we'll talk about adrenaline later, and the conversion of glycogen to glucose to provide energy for the muscles. Lastly, it also causes a decrease in saliva production and urinary output. The sympathetic nervous system, as you can see, controls our fight or flight response. This is regulated by two main neurotransmitters called epinephrine and norepinephrine. You may have heard of epinephrine also being called adrenaline. Things like skydiving causes an adrenaline rush, and you can see on the left diagram here that it can cause things like dilated pupils and tight muscles, which we talked about on the previous slide. Epinephrine and norepinephrine work together to increase blood pressure, heart rate, and metabolism. Next up is our parasympathetic nervous system. If the sympathetic nervous system was fight or flight, we can call this one rest and digest. The parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for involuntary actions such as pupil constriction, decreasing heart rate and blood pressure, increasing digestion, increasing production of saliva and mucus, and also urine secretion. So what neurotransmitter is responsible for these parasympathetic nervous system effects? Choline is the main parasympathetic nervous system neurotransmitter. This causes smooth muscles to contract, blood vessels to dilate, heart rate to slow, and digestion to increase. As you can see, this neurotransmitter and the parasympathetic nervous system directly oppose the sympathetic nervous system. So as a final summary, we can see here that different parts of the spinal cord and brain project out into the body and cause different effects, and these are regulated by the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. On the left, we see that sympathetic nervous system is regulated by norepinephrine and epinephrine, and on the right, it's regulated by acetylcholine. The sympathetic nervous system involves the body's response to stress, whereas the parasympathetic nervous system causes the body to relax.